Millions of families across the country are bracing for the worst now that billions of dollars in pandemic-era emergency funding for child care centers has expired.
As ABC's Alexis Christoforous reports, it means tens of thousands of child care centers are now at risk of closing.
Tracy Hansen has been caring for young children in Killeen, Texas for 28 years, but she worries she'll have to shut down her child care center.
We are hanging on by our fingernails.
That's because $24 billion the federal government gave to child care centers during the pandemic has dried up, threatening to leave 3.2 million kids without care and putting 70,000 child care programs at risk of closing.
With the extra money, I was able to give pay raises, paid time off for employees. I've supported families that were not able to afford tuition. I've been able to do some repairs on the building, and we've revamped our playground.
Without the extra funding, she's had to raise tuition and reduce hours, but says even that may not be enough.
I tell myself I'm going to give it 6 more months, but in reality, I just don't see us being able to make it.
That would be a devastating blow to Shelby Lynch and her growing family. Her son has been attending Tracy's daycare center for years, and Shelby herself even went there as a child.
It would be disastrous. My husband, with his job, he's the breadwinner, so I would have to be the one that stays at home.
The average cost of child care in the U.S. now tops $10,000 a year for one child. That's more than in-state college tuition in dozens of states. Tuition for Shelby's 4-year-old son, Aiden, just went up another $80 a month. And with a daughter on the way, she and her husband worry how they'll afford it.
We put off having kids for so long because we knew daycare was expensive. We still have to pay almost a mortgage payment for childcare, and it's just a lot.
Jeez, come on.
A similar scenario is playing out in Boyd, Wisconsin, where registered nurse Amanda Koenig says she and her husband got sticker shock when they saw their child care bill for the upcoming year.
That fear of knowing that we're probably going to have to go paycheck to paycheck sometimes is very overwhelming. It's not just daycare, it's groceries, it's gas, it's, all the things added up that you need just to live.
Daycare 4 days a week for her 2 children would have cost $1,840 a month. But Amanda's mother-in-law has agreed to watch the baby once a week.
We're saving over $400 a month by doing that. We're very fortunate and grateful that we can get that extra help.
Many families are not so lucky. Pre-COVID, Tracy Hansen had 150 children at her center. That number has dwindled to 63. Pandemic-era child care funding was always meant to be temporary. Democrats have been attempting to push through a $16 billion child care funding package that would offer assistance for another 5 years. But without GOP support, the bill faces an uphill battle in Congress.
Parents are having to choose, and it's not making economical sense for them to be working outside the home and then paying for childcare.
Talk about a challenge here. Alexis is with us right now, and with the average cost of child care at more than $10,000 a year, what can parents do to ease the burden?
I mean, look, on average, parents spend 27% of their income on child care. This is a child care crisis. So as you saw in the piece, if you can tap a family member or a friend to help out even one day a week, like Amanda did, that can be a big savings. Make sure you're also getting all the appropriate tax credits. There's the child tax credit and also the dependent care and child tax credit if you're eligible. These were a lot more generous during the pandemic, but they still exist, and you should make sure you're taking advantage. Check in with your employer. Are there child care benefits? Can you work a flex schedule? Even one day a week working remotely can help. See if they also offer what's called a dependent care FSA or flexible spending account that lets you put pre-tax dollars aside for child care, including before and after school programs. And finally, a lot of states do have help for low-income families. Go right to your state's website, check on the resources. If you're eligible, you can apply there right online.
And as we saw in your piece, it also helps when relatives pitch in.
Absolutely. If you can, but not everybody has that option.
Yeah, I mean, childcare was expensive before the pandemic. It's just become crazy for people.
Absolutely.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.